I saw her profile picture pop up, and I didn't just swipe right, I super liked her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grandpa, did you super like Grandma? I did, Jimmy. I did. Did you pay for Tinder? Yes, I did also do that.
Oh, but it's so weird. Hello, and welcome back to another week of Two Sheep in the Pool. My name's Ben.
My name's James.
How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah? You had a good week?
Enjoying life. Yeah, I'm knackered. Absolutely knackered.
You should sleep, shouldn't you?
I try. Problem is, on a Tuesday evening, I go and play chess games, and then I stay up late, and I regret it in the morning.
I forget that you had a wild night last night.
Yeah, it was about 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Whew. We're recording this very late in the week, considering publishing is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You're going to have a busy night.
I am going to have a busy night.
Yeah.
So, have you had anything fun happen this week that you want to talk about? Because I've not had anything fun happen this week. So.
Nothing. No, I've got a little complaint for you.
Go on.
Do you want it? So we went swimming the other day.
We did.
On Friday. Mm-hmm. And right at the end, I got cramp in my hamstring.
You did.
Cramp is fucking shit, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't know when it's coming.
And especially in the pool, I was like nearly drowning.
Especially because I was going to say there's the pool we were in is quite deep, so
Yeah.
you can't step down.
No.
So I imagine you literally were drowning.
Oh, it was literally. Thankfully, it was like just the last little bit.
So you could just grab onto the wall.
Could get onto the end, and then I was in serious pain at the end, and then I like realized after that you were helping me how weird of a situation that was.
Well, yeah, it was probably a bit of a struggle because you would demonstrate because my front crawl's not very good. So basically, you demonstrated a front crawl,
Yeah,
and then I was kind of like watching from afar, and then I was like, "Is he in pain? He looks like he's in pain." And I didn't initially go to help you.
No.
Because you were further away, and then I was like, nah, he's definitely in pain. And then, yeah, when I got to you, I was like helping lift your leg basically about the pool and like lift it up so you could kind of stretch your leg out. We must have looked really weird.
Yeah, I think we probably look like some sort of weird sexual experience in the and especially because I wear a swimming cap and I look like a weird blue-headed bald man, and it pulls up my eyebrows. It's horrible. Swimming caps, they're terrible as well.
Yeah.
Don't know why I do swimming. No, I do. I enjoy it. I had a second experience with cramp yesterday as well.
God, you need some more. What is it? Is it potassium?
I don't know. Is it salt?
Salt?
Water? Probably not hydrated enough.
Get a banana, cover it in salt, and hit both bases.
Just smack myself with it. No, eat it. Yeah, basically, I was playing chess, and this is the weirdest cramp I've ever had. I yawned, and then
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
And then, basically underneath my mouth, underneath my chin, like the soft palaty part, I had cramp there.
I was about to say, after whatever this cramp was going to be, that is the worst cramp.
Yeah.
Like round your throat and your neck and your mouth.
Yeah.
Because there's normally the advice is, walk it off, stand up, walk it off. But with that, you can't do anything. You just have to buckle up and feel like you're choking and dying.
I felt like I was proper gurning while I was playing this chess match. My jaw was just like going to try and stretch it out.
Yeah.
I must look very strange in front of my opponent.
One of my biggest fears is that happening while I'm singing.
Yeah,
on
during
stage.
a gig.
And just, what would you do? Yeah.
I'm just gonna take a little break now. I'll be back in 15 minutes, and then just go and chew on some rubber or something.
Yep.
Horrific. I did once get cramp. Here's all the stories about cramp that I've ever had.
Should we do top 10 cramps? That's the main topic now. Settle in, everyone.
So I used to play Call of Duty 4.
Okay.
With my friends. Have you heard of Game Battles? It was like this competitive site where friends, you would come together and you would battle another group of people, and you would go up this ladder, and you'd be top of the ladder, or you work your way up to it.
Okay.
And we were playing this game, and in the middle of the game, I got horrific cramp in both of my hamstrings at the same time, and I fell off my chair. And so I was just lay on the floor trying to stretch out my hamstrings while continuing to play the game.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
I thought you were going to say you cramped up in your thumb or your hand or something.
No.
In both your hamstrings?
Yeah. I think I'd been playing football or something in the day. And it just sometimes catches you later on.
Kicks in.
Yeah, because you were like, I was probably just tense in my legs and like my whole body.
I think you need to stretch more. That's what you need to do.
Probably. Maybe I should start doing yoga.
Yeah.
No.
I was going to say, you shaking your head while you're saying that says otherwise.
Definitely not. I've tried it. It's not for me.
No, I'm with you.
Right, you went away?
I went away. We went and looked after my girlfriend's niece and nephew for a couple of days. Oh, we played. This was very exciting, actually. We went to go bowling,
right?
But there was a 3-hour wait on bowling.
Gee, why is bowling so popular?
Yeah, I know. Well, I think it was because it was like the kids' Easter holidays, something like that.
True.
But as an alternative, they had a glow-in-the-dark crazy golf course next door, and that was great. The balls glue in the dark. Glue in the dark. Glowed in the dark. They glow because you wouldn't say they glow in the dark as a past tense, would you? They did glow in the dark.
It must be glowed.
They glowed. They glue. Let's not get into one of these again.
I bet you could probably use both. Anyway,
that was great.
That was good.
And I won.
You won?
I did. Against 2 small children and my girlfriend.
Me and Annie did crazy golf for our second ever date.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it glow in the dark?
It wasn't. It was just
that. Sucks then.
Have you been to ghetto golf around here? Is that good?
It is good.
Is that a similar kind of thing?
Yeah, I know. We wouldn't have been able to take kids to it though because there's some very inappropriate holes on that course. One of them's basically like walking into. I've never actually been into one, but a sex shop. There's just massive dildos stuck on the wall. It's not a kid-friendly golf course.
Okay.
Let's say that.
Okay,
but it is good.
It is good. Okay, I'll give it a go.
Yeah,
we should have a go together.
I want you to go between now and next week, and we'll report back on it.
Okay.
Yes.
No promises. No promises.
No promises.
No.
That's my week anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
Should we move on to news?
News? Have you got lots of news this week?
I've got a little bit of news that I thought would be interesting to talk about.
That's good.
So, did you know that today is a kind of a special day in the space news world?
Is it the day that space was invented?
It was. No, not historically, as in like something that's going to happen today.
Oh, nope.
No. So they're going to release at 2:00. Mm-hmm. It's only 12 now.
Our time.
Uh-huh. The first ever picture, as it were, inverted commas, of a black hole.
Ah, yes. Okay.
So this is kind of they're going to show what a black hole looks like if you're looking directly at it, basically. And I watched a very interesting video on how it would look, and it basically it's very counterintuitive to how you might expect it to look.
Okay, can I hazard what my guess would be?
Go on.
Pure black nothingness.
Yes, I guess if you only wanted to show what is after the event horizon, then it would be. But like if you just show like. They're taking a picture of the outside as well. Okay. And basically, there's a disc of debris that flows around a black hole, and then there's a certain radius. That's a certain radius. Certain radius away from the event horizon. Because if it drops lower than that radius, it just instantly falls into the black hole. Yeah. And if you're like shining a light at the black hole, because light is pulled into the black hole as well.
Nothing reflects off it.
Yeah. You can also like bend light all the way around. Oh. So the pitch you get is bigger than the actual black hole would be. Like the black bit of the picture is bigger because the light that would go past it kind of bends and hits the back end of it gets absorbed, if that makes sense. So you're looking at like a reflection of what it would be. Okay. Because some of it goes past it and then bends back around to touch the backside of it, you kind of get this negative image of the backside of the black hole.
This is some mind-bending stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I watched a really interesting video about it from Veritasium on YouTube. It was very, very interesting. But I'm very curious to see what the actual image looks like.
It's cool. It's cool that we can get that.
Yeah, we're looking at the black hole in the center of our galaxy. Yeah. So that should be interesting.
Maybe for next week.
Yes,
we can report on what the picture looked like.
Actually look like.
I've got one bit of news.
Go on.
So are you familiar with Battle Royale style games that have become popular the past couple of years?
i.e. Fortnite, PUBG, Apex Legends.
So for anyone who doesn't know, the basic premise is normally about 100 players will be dropped into a map and you'll all fight to the death and the last one standing wins.
It's a lot like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
a lot like Battle Royale, the actual film.
And we should clarify, this is gaming on consoles or PC type gaming.
Not real life.
The news that I have got this week.
Okay.
There is an anonymous millionaire who is trying to create a real Battle Royale.
Okay.
And I thought initially when I saw the headline that it was a fight to the death one. But it's sadly not that. It's with air rifles and touch-sensitive armor.
Ah, okay.
But there's there's a company I'd not heard of called Hush Hush, who's based in the UK, and they're basically like a company that will do anything for rich people. So rich people will put requests to them, and then they'll source the people to make that reality.
Okay.
So they've said an anonymous millionaire has come to them and said they want to get an island, and they want to do a battle royale situation. And I think, let me get the stats up. So they want 100 people to go to this island. There's 100,000 prize for whoever wins.
Okay.
Pounds. This is all in pounds.
100,000 prize. I'd love spending my prize.
There's a £45,000 contract up for whoever organizes all of this, basically.
Okay.
So they'll basically fight for 12 hours at a time until this is completed. And then when it reaches night, everyone goes to a safe zone. They camp, eat, rest, and then go back out to another 12-hour.
Okay. And do they have to go back to where they went, do you reckon? Like where they came from?
I've no idea. I suppose it depends on how they put it together.
Or do you think that if you're alive, then that's how they make the circle smaller and smaller? You know, at night you can't go past this. You know, first day is the whole island.
Yeah.
Second day, you know, you take 10% off.
And the map gets smaller and smaller and forces them into,
It sounds like the craziest Duke of Edinburgh ever.
I quite like the sound of this, though.
Yeah. Would you do it?
I mean, I don't think I'd be any good at it.
No.
But I would.
What would your technique be? How would you go about it?
I would hide from everyone. I would be the camper.
Well, I feel like that's what game theory says you should do, is hide.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you're the one, if someone walks through the door, the only door in the room, you've got a better chance of hitting them
than they have to you.
But I guess, you know, is it teams or is it individuals?
I think individuals, 100 individuals all on their own. I suppose there's nothing stopping you from forming a team.
Yeah.
But then you're all going to have to turn on each other at some point. So would you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do
There's
I have to lose?
Nothing to lose.
Yeah. Unless your dignity.
Unless
shoot yourself in the foot.
This feels like a film waiting to happen, that this all gets set up and the person who's organised it has actually filled all of the airsoft guns with real live rounds and then everyone just get massacred.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds...
Would you do it then?
That sounds like something an evil genius would do.
Yes.
No. Would I give up my life for 100,000?
For 100,000. I thought for an eccentric millionaire going this far, whilst 100,000 is a lot of money, I expected the price to be more.
If it was for death, then maybe it would be more. Do you know what I mean? But
I don't think there's many people who'd put their life on the line for that.
No. And if I was going to go over and do it, do you think I'd like to have some sort of retainer, like a minimum amount of payment? Like, give me $1,000 to do it.
Yeah.
And then whoever wins gets the full prize money or whatever it is.
Yeah. But I hope that if this goes ahead, they televise it.
I don't know if it would be good TV. It probably could make a good highlight video.
Yeah, they'd have to do some heavy editing. If it's 12 hours and could last, I don't know, like a week. It depends if everyone's tactic was what we just said, was just hiding and waiting.
There should be an incentive, i.e., the person with the most kills gets a prize fund there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which would be a good way.
Yeah. I mean, this it's an anonymous person to a company and no one's been picked to put it together yet. So the likelihood is that none of this will ever happen. But
here's the news about an idea.
About an idea.
Have you ever done anything like paintballing?
Yeah, the only time I've done it, I'd love to do it again. It was my cousin's birthday party. And I think I was like 2 days into having really bad tonsillitis. But I was so excited to go paintballing. I was trying to hide that I was ill.
Right.
I really regretted going. Because you know when you're ill and everything's tender and your skin's just sore to the touch, getting shot with paintballs wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
But I did like paintballing. I'd like to go again.
Yeah, I just felt either I was terrible at aiming or the gun that I had made it just veer off wildly. I think shooting paintballs is not an accurate business.
No,
unless you have like your own gun, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think circular balls don't fly well in the air, do they? I think they curve off.
Yeah.
That was the problem with like muskets back in the day.
Right.
Is that you would use a circular ball and it would just spin and just fly off.
Anywhere other than where you want it.
Yeah.
But I do remember that at the time, and I'm sure that this would happen now, there was, because it was quite a big open session, there was a lot of like young kids, and then there was like 5 guys who were like pros. They went in with like tank tops, their own guns, and like customized armor, and like acted like they were in the military.
Yeah.
Even when I was young, I was like, they're idiots.
Yeah, people taking it a bit too seriously. Couldn't get into the army, didn't want to go into the army, but like shooting stuff. Yeah. Yes. Right.
Right, should we go into fake news or not?
Fake news or not? So Ben, what's fake news or not?
It's a section where you bring some headlines that may or may not be fake.
Yes.
And I've got to guess whether they're real or not.
Or fake or not, some might
or
say.
Or fake or not. Right, hit me with your headlines.
Okay. You ready?
I am. Are you?
I don't know. Hype myself up now.
Hang on, what was the score? We're on 20... Because you made a proper hash of last week.
I did. I'm really sorry about that. I listened back to it, I was like, oh, that's terrible.
When I was editing it, I was like, you fool.
Oh, yeah, what a fool. I've double-checked this time.
So what are we on? 21...
20, I think.
21-20. To me.
To you. To me.
Should clarify. That's
to
important.
To me.
To me.
To you.
Yes.
I don't know, I feel really pressured now with keeping score.
Now we're keeping score.
Yeah.
The stakes are high, aren't they?
Stakes are high, okay. Schoolboy suspended after covering eggs in chocolate and feeding them to his friends.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll come back to that.
Yep. And the second one is, hot cross buns sold have been recalled after a small calculator was found inside them.
Okay, right. I want to dig into that one, but let's go back to the first one first. He was suspended because he was feeding real eggs. Covered in chocolate. To his friends. Okay. The image that's in my head is he's force feeding them these.
Yeah. I think that...
Because I think the headline, he's not giving them to his friends.
Yes.
He's feeding them to his friends. So I'm just picturing him jamming them down the throats of his friends.
Yeah, well, I don't think he tied them up and forced them. I think it was a prank of sorts.
Okay. Have you got any more facts that you can describe about this? How it went down? How many friends were affected?
It was a pack of eggs that he'd covered in chocolate. He said to his friends, here's, a chocolate egg. And they bit into them and there was raw egg inside.
And hilarity ensued.
Yes.
That
would be horrible.
Are
you a fan of cream eggs?
I do like cream eggs.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan.
Here's a question. And maybe we can Google this and answer this now.
Right.
I seem to remember when we were younger, cream eggs were available all year round, to my knowledge.
Okay.
But now they're only available at Easter, as far as I'm aware, or around Easter time. Do you have any memory of this?
I'm not a big fan of cream eggs.
Oh,
but
you're wrong.
Yeah.
They
are only now around at Easter, but I think they might have been around all year, but I don't know.
Because it's the one thing, not that it was a regular thing, but when we were walking home from school sometimes, if we had some loose change, I remember that we'd go to the shop and get something. And I'm sure I got not Easter eggs. They are only available at Easter.
Yeah.
But cream eggs. And I'm going to Google this now because I've always wanted to answer this.
Welcome to the section where we Google things.
Were cream eggs? Right, well, I can't find...
You can't find that.
A definitive answer. So,
but it had been in the past. So
if anyone can remember this, please let me know because it's plagued me for a while.
For 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes.
While you've searched.
Right.
What
were we even talking about?
Oh, we're doing fake news or not, weren't we? Oh, yeah.
We've gone on the biggest tangent. Right. So we've learned maybe they always sold them, maybe they didn't.
Right.
So was the boy... Is he real? That's what we're answering, isn't it?
Is he fake or not?
I think.
Well,
first off, I'm liking the Easter theme.
Okay.
That you've picked here.
Thank you.
Chocolate eggs.
Do you want to talk about the other one as well, or?
Yeah, I'm just trying to mark off in my head what I think of it. Okay, that's right. Next one. Okay. Hot cross buns. Who was selling these?
It was an Australian store.
An Australian store.
An Australian store. Yes.
Is it a brand of hot cross buns? Or is it home baked from this one store?
No, it's like from the shop.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So it's not like from an independent bakery. It's from something like a Tesco, but an Australian version. Mm-hmm. We don't have names though.
Would you like me to get the name for you?
Yes.
Okay. Pasadena Foodland.
Pasadena Foodland.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound very Australian.
It doesn't, does it?
No.
Okay.
Okay, right. So someone bought a pack of hot cross buns?
Yes.
Okay. And they found a calculator in it. Are we talking a real calculator, a prop calculator, something for a toy?
It was just kind of pieces from a calculator. It's not a full calculator.
So maybe like a 9 key, a clear key.
Yeah.
An equals button.
An equals button.
Okay.
Kind of stuff, yeah.
But not a whole calculator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not liking the sound of this story.
Right.
However, I feel like maybe you're misleading me a bit.
Oh, the double whammy.
Did they recall all of these?
Yeah, that's the headline is.
They
recalling them because they found a small calculator inside them. That's the headline.
But the headline doesn't really match up with the description because that suggests a whole calculator was found.
I think people...
And you're saying just pieces were found.
Sensationalized.
Yes, they do tend to do that when it comes to calculators.
They always adding more on, aren't they?
Yes. Little math pun there.
Multiplying their income.
That didn't land so well.
Improving their dividends.
Dividends? I'm gonna give my answers so we move on from this.
What, from shit calculator puns?
Right. I think that the stakes are so much higher now.
Isn't
we've got scores.
Doesn't it feel that way?
My hands are sweating.
Is this an Eminem song?
My knees are weak as well.
All right.
I can smell some spaghetti. Anyway, right. First one is fake. The boy with the chocolate eggs is fake.
Okay.
You've made that up.
Okay.
And the second one is true.
Okay. Final answer.
Final answer.
You're right.
Yes,
on
I am.
both accounts.
I knew it.
God damn it.
Because I'm a genius at this game.
I think you're just guessing now and just getting lucky.
No. That
what
just
gave
felt,
it away?
That felt... The first one felt like... I feel like a child nowadays wouldn't do it. It felt like a story from the 1950s.
1950s?
Maybe 60s.
Come on, am I over it? Am I done? Making me question my own self-worth here, Ben.
And the second one sounded so flimsy that it had to be true.
It was Pasadena Foodland. Like, I don't know how else operator of Pasadena.
That's why I didn't think that you'd come up with that name if you were just going to make up a random name. I thought it would have been Australian themed.
Woolies. They do enjoy a good Woolworths down there, don't they?
I'd like to thank...
That's a great prank, though, isn't it?
For this win. I'd like to thank my family and everyone.
You can't do this every week. Fuck off. Maybe like first to 100.
Okay.
That's a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot. Are we ever going to make it that much?
I guess if it's even all the way, then it has to be 100 episodes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Should we move on?
Yes, let's move on.
Okay. Have you got anything that you want to recommend this week?
Yeah.
Okay, should we do Will I Recommend?
Sure.
Will I Recommend?
Yes. It's another Netflix thing.
Oh, go on.
We just love a bit of Netflix.
We do.
I've really enjoyed Love, Death and Robots.
I've watched one of these.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy it.
Oh, why not? Which one did you watch? Let's set the scene.
Okay.
So Love, Death and Robots is a kind of a mini episode. Each one is very different than the last.
Yeah.
They change and they kind of have a different story about each one.
Yeah.
Which one did you watch?
I watched one. So when we were staying with my girlfriend's sister and her husband, he'd been watching them and I think he'd watched a few already. So he said, I've been enjoying these. Let's watch one. So I joined in the middle of whatever this series is, and it was an episode about some people who had machine robot things, and there was aliens that were coming through a hole in the sky, and they were having to fight off the aliens from invading their little rural village. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't care about the characters because we'd met them 10 seconds ago.
Okay.
Couldn't care less whether they'd won or lost, and I didn't even think it was very compelling while we were watching it.
Okay. I don't think that's one of the stronger ones.
Okay.
I think there are some better ones in there, but each one is kind of imagine it was a YouTube video.
Yeah.
None of them are related to each other.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend looking at some other ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're only 15 minutes long max.
Yeah, it's very, very short.
So I think you have to go into it knowing that.
Yeah.
And maybe get attached to a character just because they are the main character.
Yeah.
But some of them have some interesting ideas and interesting stories to them.
Okay.
Like, most of them are a take on the world in a different way.
Yeah.
So the one that you watched, that ended up being that they were living on another planet.
Yeah.
Kind of changing how that world was.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like they were the invaders, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the twist on that, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, I couldn't tell whether it was that or whether there was like a big shield bubble around the planet.
Around their little farm area.
Yeah. And then there was just millions of these aliens trying to get in, basically.
I think they were on a different planet.
Right.
And that the aliens, that was their home. That was what I took away from that. And that really, the whole thing was about them fighting off these aliens, because you think it's like Earth.
Yeah.
And then we've been battling these off. And I think really the twist of that is that they're the ones that gone
the bad guys.
Yeah. Not necessarily. But generally, yeah. You kind of, it's like going into the sea, building a big city, and then mad when the sharks attack.
Yes.
Ish. What a terrible metaphor or similar situation.
It works.
Ish. That was terrible. Sorry.
Well, maybe I'll give them a go, because I did only watch one that was just in the middle.
I think the first one's really quite good.
First one.
I enjoy, because the very different art styles.
Yeah.
Some of them are live action. Some of them are definitely drawings. Some of them obviously are. When they put like dots on people and then they film them, and then
motion capture.
Yeah. Some are like that. Some obviously aren't. So
Yeah.
I would recommend it. Some are definitely stronger than others.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Let's have a go.
I'll give it a go. And also, not will I recommend, but this is a previous will I recommend to me from you.
Yeah.
I've listened to more of The Stand.
Yes.
I'm enjoying it a bit more.
Yeah.
I still stand by sections of this book are tedious with his descriptions.
I think that's just how Stephen King describes stuff.
Yeah.
So if you don't enjoy the way he might describe something in detail, rather than like, it was a dog.
No, I think there'll be big, long sections of this book that I'll be enjoying.
Yeah.
And then if he brings something new into the picture, he'll spend an entire chapter on that thing.
No, he doesn't.
So my example here, there was a character brought into this book. This is no spoilers. The Dark Man.
Yeah.
There was an entire chapter on him, and it was just doing examples of people that had seen him.
Okay, yeah.
From their point, and I lost count of how many different versions there were of
Yeah,
this.
there was a lot of
After
that.
the first two, you got the idea. But that carried on for a whole chapter, maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Do you not think they were
about it?
Individually interesting in and of themselves?
For the first two.
Okay.
And then it was literally the same again and again and again. And I was kind of at a point where I was like, I'm going to switch this off. And I was like, no, go through, power through. And then when it moved on for that chapter, I got into the flow of it again. It felt like it was moving. But it's when he hits things like that.
Okay.
That's my problem with it.
Mm-hmm. I think...
Can you see what I mean?
Yeah. You can't... Either way for you, though, Ben, is it, I didn't care about these characters at all. Got no backstory. And then it's much backstory.
That's two ends of the scale.
Well, just because he spent the same amount of time creating... the backstory for this character as they did for that whole episode.
Yeah,
I think it's fair enough.
Yeah,
I've been listening to it more and more. I'm still really enjoying it. So let me know how it goes.
I will for next week's Will I Recommend. Right, let's move on to the topic. Right then, what are we talking about this week?
Robots.
Kind of.
Love, death, and robots. No. Technology.
Technology. Did you almost hit that glass off?
I did, because I went to get a drink, and then there's no water in there.
In it.
But I did say earlier that I was going to get a wide-based, low glass, because I've made a habit of making a mess around here.
You have a track record of knocking drinks over here.
Oh, Ben, actually.
Oh.
Can I throw in a complaint?
Go on.
And you can edit it back in.
Okay. I might just leave it here.
Okay. I've got another complaint for you, Ben. You must not be getting these, but I get notifications for our Facebook page nearly every day from Facebook saying, here is something for ads, here is something, like, just fuck off. Like, do you not get it? I
don't get them, no.
My God. I
do get lots of notifications from Facebook, just not about our page and advertising on it.
Yeah, it is like, here's £10 to offer a thing. Here's £10 it's like, here it's ending soon. We didn't use it. That was like 5 days ago. And then today they're giving us one that said, here's another £10.
They give a new one.
They really want us to use it.
Really want to use it, yeah. Maybe it's because I've done Facebook advertising on other pages of mine before, but I'm a fresh
fool.
A fresh user for them to jam it down your throat.
Goddamn Facebook.
You hate Facebook. Do you use Facebook much?
Should we talk? This works well into our...
Should we go on to the main topic?
Yes, go on.
So we're going to be talking about technology. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, how it's changed, what we think's good, and one of those technological things is social media.
Social media.
What do you think of social media?
I think I'm one of the lightest users of the general social media. Okay, so like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
I probably use them.
They're the big ones, aren't they?
In order I use them most is, I think, Twitter, and then Instagram a little bit, and then Facebook. But those two I've used very little.
That's weird. I think mine would go Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
Literally the opposite.
Weird.
Yeah.
But then the one thing that I spend much more time on, which you could maybe classify as social media, is Reddit. So it depends whether you classify that as social media or not.
I don't use it at all. I literally couldn't comment on it. The only time I use it is if I Google something and it happens to take me to a Reddit page.
Yeah.
Which happened recently with a game that I don't even play that much, Injustice. It's a fighting game from a couple of years ago. I Googled something about it. And in the same way that you've just complained about Facebook notifications, every day since I've Googled that, I get a notification from the Reddit app about Injustice, suggesting a page to me.
Okay. So you have a Reddit app?
I downloaded the app. I don't use it, though.
It depends. I think that probably depends on the app that you've got. If you've got the official Reddit app, I don't think that's very good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I use a different one.
Maybe I'll delete it. I mean, I don't use it. I just keep getting annoyed at the notifications and thinking, I need to delete that.
Get rid.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion on social media then? Do you think it's good, bad?
I think it can lead to a lot of toxic behavior.
For sure.
I think I've got better now for not investing so much time into it, but I think like teenager, just kind of coming out of school, when it was all pretty fresh, really, around the MySpace and Facebook and Bebo era, all like that. I dread to think how many hours we just sat on that. I don't even know what we did.
Big one for me was MSN.
MSN. That was life.
That was like, you got home and you just spoke on that. Like you didn't speak enough to your friends all day, every day.
Yep.
And then you would continue to speak with them on
MSN. I don't particularly see being as, maybe it's just because nostalgia. I don't remember it being as toxic in a lot of ways. That was literally just communicating with friends, like how you would on the phone, or
I imagine that you could have been bullied via MSN.
True. Yeah, I suppose it didn't happen to me, but it could, I suppose, for sure.
So I think technology, when social media, when it's used like that in a way to bully people, can be massively impactful to people. If you used to get bullied as a child and there was no internet, you would come home and you would have respite.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. I know the argument can be made, well, you don't have to go online, but as you kind of do nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, that's how the world's evolved. But you don't get any escape from that kind of bullying. Yeah. So I think in that aspect, it can be really bad.
For sure. I think that the other big thing that I think is, and what I mean when I said toxic originally, is the way that it enables people to talk out of turn that they may not do in real life, face to face with people.
Right.
So the thing that I hate now is if you're on a video of, I'm trying to think of something just very innocent, like a baby eating some food and they drop some, or something funny happens. And then 100 different people will comment on how it's abuse and how everyone suddenly becomes an expert in something that they know nothing about. And then the parents of this baby will get ridiculed. Do you know what I mean?
It's like the almost anonymity of it. Whereas you wouldn't say that to someone's face.
No.
Because, if someone got annoyed enough they could hit you. Do you know what I mean? There are consequences for your actions, whereas online you can leave a comment, then walk away from it, and it almost never comes back to you as an issue.
And you don't. The other things like the catfishing issue of you don't have to. You might not be the person that you appear online.
Yeah,
it could be, if it's Sandra from Texas, you might actually be Bill from Glasgow. Like, I don't know why that example came to mind.
Yeah, no, but for example, so you can just lie about who you are and then be abusive and toxic.
Yeah.
So I think it can have a real negative impact on people's mental health, for sure.
For sure.
I remember speaking to Annie. She works a lot with teenagers and talking to them about their mental health and their issues. And one of the biggest things that has been an impact on them is like Instagram.
Yeah.
And looking at celebrities who are kind of not a real person, if that makes sense. They follow all these people who they idolize, and all these pictures of, I wish I looked like this, or I wish I did it this way, and I wish that was my life. But none of it's really real. You're just seeing a snapshot of what they want to show to everybody.
I think you can paint a picture of who you want through pictures online, can't you? Those celebrities, I doubt they live exactly how they show.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Especially now you have like the Instagram influencers, which are just kind of people who... what I've seen on Instagram is like women who take provocative shots, wearing not very much, not all of them, obviously. I don't want to anger anybody, and then they have young people or people looking at them saying how amazing that is, and it's the photo is photoshopped, it's all fake. They're not really living the life that they're portraying, and then getting money for that, and being poor to people's mental health.
Yeah.
So I think it's a vehicle for that.
And I feel like that thread of things on Instagram has led to a new way of advertising.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of not obvious advertising. If you get a lot of young, susceptible people following these Instagram influencers, the way that they might pose a photo, they might have this, I don't know, like a
protein shake.
Things, like protein shakes or like caffeine drinks and stuff. And it won't look like an advertisement, but it'll just make it, when you've got hundreds of thousands of teenagers idolizing this person, and then they're pushing these products in that way. It feels weird, all of that.
It feels sly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It almost is like subliminal.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to advertise to you without knowing it's an advertisement.
Yeah.
Which I think can often be more effective. And I can understand why companies would pay for that. But I think it feels shady.
Yeah.
There are now things like a lot of posts who say pay promotion and stuff like that, an ad to make it so that people know that they're being advertised to. But it still works, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. You know? I think it feels especially sly though when you know that companies are taking advantage of most of these audiences with these people tend to be young teenagers or children. It feels especially weird when you know that they're taking advantage of that.
Because it works on people that are in a more vulnerable situation, maybe, let's say.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling very self-confident about who you are and in your body, you might look at this an Instagrammer and say, wow, they're amazing. Oh, and look, they use this product. They recommend that product. I'm going to get that product without even thinking that they've been advertised to. Whereas if they scrolled on Facebook, and usually it's the same kind of ads though, like, are you feeling fat and overweight, unloved and ugly?
Yeah.
It's like, that only preys on people that are feeling low self-worth already.
Yeah.
And then probably sells them an item that doesn't work in the way that it's advertised or is bad for their health in general.
Yeah.
So it's...
God, advertising.
Yeah, God, that was... I think social media is basically... What did I remember saying? Something like along the line of, if you're not paying for a product, you are the product. So i.e. you don't pay for Facebook, so that means you're the product for Facebook.
Yeah.
So that they can advertise to you, so they can have all this information on you. Which it made me feel, it was an interesting thought to have, that, I guess I am a product in that way.
I feel like I can remember a shift happening in Facebook specifically, that advertising hadn't used to be a prominent thing, but now it's littered through the whole of Facebook. Especially if you're watching a video, you might see 5 adverts in the middle of it that never used to be there.
They're trying to force it down your throat. Talking about adverts.
Yes.
Let's talk about something else that's, I think, good technology.
Go on.
Ad blocker.
Ad blocker, yeah.
Do you use ad blocker? Or an ad blocker?
I don't really use my computer for going on social media and stuff.
Okay.
So it's not installed on phone, obviously.
You can get them.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, on maybe not through actual apps. So if you're on Instagram, you couldn't that way. But I think maybe Facebook not either. But if you went on to like, for example, Safari, you can get ad blockers for that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you were so inclined. Yeah, the only ads that I really see nowadays are on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which generally I don't mind because I'm usually watching a video of someone that I enjoy and I know that it goes to support them.
Yeah.
So I'm not too fussed by it. But I do use ad blocker pretty much everywhere else.
But now YouTube have brought out a paid service that you can pay to remove adverts, can't you?
Yes.
For a monthly subscription fee.
Yes.
Which generally, in some products, I don't mind doing that. Especially if it's helping a smaller product get off the ground. I feel slightly differently when it's YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because it's so massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I have thought about doing it because I watch a lot of YouTube every day. So I've thought about doing it.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about before we move on from social media and phones and stuff is how it affects people's lives.
Right.
How much of what I mean by this is, say you're
how much time.
There's always one person. If you go to a party or anywhere really, there's always one or multiple people that aren't really talking to anyone, and they'll just be on phones.
Yeah.
Are you one of them?
Ben, am I one of them?
I don't think you are.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm definitely not one of those.
No.
If I'm in a social situation, I'm generally in that social situation.
Yeah.
For me, when I use my phone, it's going to sound weird, I use my phone when I'm alone.
Yeah.
But I have been finding myself using it more and more.
Yeah.
I find myself being unable to stand being bored.
Yeah.
So that if I'm just standing doing something for more than 5 seconds, I get my phone out.
I'm totally the same.
But and it's just a reflex.
That's exactly the word I was going to use.
I even do it, and I've noticed myself doing it now. I'll go to the toilet, and then I'll be having a pee, and then I'll be looking at my phone. I'll be like, "How did I even get my phone out?"
Yeah.
I'm peeing and looking at my phone at the same time. I'm like, "What am I doing?
Yeah.
Why I couldn't spend 20 seconds just having a wee without having my phone out?"
Yeah.
And it's literally my first instinct when I go to the bathroom now is to get my phone out.
Yep.
And I'm just thinking, I can't be good for me and my attention span and that kind of wanting to sit down and just do something.
No. That it is weird how much of a reflex and a crutch it's become in just life for attention spans. It's like you said, like being bored for more than 5 seconds. It's because you don't have to be.
No.
Like something like a podcast or like music or YouTube videos, it's just so easy to just have on in the background if you're waiting for food to cook or if you're brushing your teeth or getting ready in the morning. So we've both got different brands of phone, but I thought we'd have a look at we've got something, what's it called on iPhone? Screen time, that will break down how long you've been on your phone and will break down what you've been doing on your phone, basically. Right. Can you look at yours for the last 7 days?
Yeah, I think so. Let me just see if I can find it. I can't remember what it's called. Digital Wellbeing, that's what it's called. There you go. So have you got like times opened?
Yeah, I've got all of that.
And screen time?
Amount of times picked up, notifications per day, and screen time.
Yeah.
Right. Have you got a number?
Yeah. Ish.
Okay.
Do
Right.
you want to go first or shall I go first?
Go on then. Mine on average says here 3 hours, 29 minutes per day.
And mine is more than that.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I look, so mine's probably about 4 hours, I'll say, something like that.
Okay. Can you break it down to what's used?
Yeah.
Because one of these makes sense for me. So normally, do you this? I don't know whether this is an issue, but it's something to talk about. Like a nightly routine before you go to sleep. There's like a series of channels on YouTube that I'll watch to kind of wind down, whether it's news or just entertainment. So I was expecting a big portion of mine to be on YouTube.
Right.
Which over the course of the week, I've watched 6 hours 23 of YouTube.
Okay. I wonder if I can get just apps up.
The one that's the issue for me is the one after that is Facebook. And that's 6 hours, 9 minutes. And I know that must just be through checking through the day.
Okay, so for the last week, I've got times watched. So my daily average of YouTube is just under an hour, 54 minutes.
Right, okay.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah. That's crazy, though.
It's crazy when you look at the numbers.
Yeah.
But the one, like I said, YouTube I was kind of expecting because I could watch a half-hour video in one go, and that's not so surprising. But Facebook, I know that I must have just been like a reflex, that if I realize, there's a silent gap here in conversation, or I'm waiting for someone somewhere in public and I've got nothing to do, I'll just open Facebook, and you won't even realize you're doing it sometimes.
Here is my daily average for Facebook.
0.
Yeah, I honestly,
you just don't use Facebook.
Yeah, I on Monday, the 1st of April, I used it for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I would just go through the different weeks.
I think your Facebook, yours is Reddit for my Facebook.
For sure.
Because I think I tend to use it for my source of news as well. Right, and I don't necessarily mean some local and political type news, but mostly for entertainment news, like things that I'm into, like cycling results and film news, stuff like that. The ones after that are kind of less surprising. One of them was I did a couple of long drives, so I've got my Waze Maps app. Yeah. That makes up almost 3 hours, so that's less surprising.
Yeah.
After that, it kind of becomes normal, just like 30 minutes here and there on things. But those two, YouTube and Facebook, make up a lot of my week.
Yeah, basically mine is the same, but Reddit
YouTube and Reddit.
And YouTube, sorry, yeah.
But I feel like I'm better than I used to be. Right. I think there was a time where I definitely spent a lot of time living in my phone. Yeah. In social situations even.
Really?
I don't think I was like a massive culprit for it, but yeah, anyway.
Speaking of which, put these away, yeah.
It's weird though when you think about how quickly phones have become literally integral to people's lives when they weren't so much of a thing even a decade ago.
Here's a challenge for you then, Ben.
Go on.
For a little while, I set my Reddit app to have a timer on it.
Okay.
So that I could only use it a certain amount each day. So I'd set it to an hour.
Yeah.
And I think I set YouTube to an hour. But then I thought, I turned it off. I turned off both YouTube and Reddit. And then I set Twitter to half an hour. So it ends up being a lot. Yeah. Which I probably want to reduce it. But do you think you could go a full week less than 10 minutes a day on on Facebook, sorry? Like if you set a timer for it. Should we see if we can have like a week?
Should we see if we can do it?
Till the next time we record the podcast.
Let's do what you've just said.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do, so is that going to be 10 minutes in total for, say, every social media? So YouTube, not YouTube.
I was going to say not YouTube because I use that for entertainment. Yeah. I don't really watch TV. No. But there are series and stuff that I'll watch. Yeah. So I can say YouTube will be off limits. Yeah. It's the ones that I think are an issue. Yeah. Like I think my life would be better if I didn't spend time on Facebook. Yeah. Because I've literally just seen there, what was that, 6 hours? Right. That's 6 hours I could have done being productive.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day?
Yeah.
So yours are going to be...
Mine's Facebook.
Facebook, and I'll set it on Reddit.
Deal.
Okay.
Mental air shake.
Oh, I'm going to do it now.
Okay.
I'll set the timer on now.
I'll be curious if I have a new one, because I don't really use Instagram or Twitter.
Okay.
So I'm curious if my shift if I'll suddenly find myself realizing, oh no, I've been on Instagram for 2 hours today.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to be interested to see what happens.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see, if you've got a phone at home, which most people do, I'd be curious to see if everybody check theirs and either message us and say, this is how much I use mine, or I don't use mine at all. Yeah. I'd be curious to see, I might talk to my mum and dad and have them look at theirs, because I'd be curious to know what they do.
If anyone else wants to join us on the challenge, I'd be curious.
Yeah. But also, I feel like because we work not like workday schedules as well. Mm-hmm. So when I'm at work, I don't really look at anything. I just put a podcast on or an audio book and use that way. Yeah. And then it's like when I get home. So like I'll get home and then I'll just scroll on Reddit. I'll sit down. I'll just open Reddit and I'll lose like 45 minutes. And I don't even know where it's gone.
You just don't even realize though at all.
No.
Okay, let's see how this goes. That leads me, a question I wanted to talk about was because this, I feel like it sounds silly, but it is a real thing now, is phone etiquette in public.
Right.
Because do you know what I mean?
Yes. Ish.
Like when's there a time and a place? Especially one thing I wanted to go on to is, let's talk about this now. What do you think the most useful bit of tech that you have owned in the last 10 years or so? If there's something that you think you've noticeably thought this is an improvement.
It probably has to be a smartphone.
Yeah, it probably does, doesn't it?
Because there's nothing that's as useful as a smartphone. Like out and about, photos, rings.
Yeah.
You can search the whole internet to find out any bit of information you ever want.
Yeah.
It does everything that you might want.
It has turned into everything.
Yeah.
The internet is a computer in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's that thing of your teachers at school when they were like, you need to know maths because you'll never have a calculator in your pocket when you're out and about. Mm-hmm. And it's that now. We've got everything there.
Yeah, which I think learning has to be different nowadays in that you have to know how to find things rather than just knowing things.
Yeah.
Because it's more important to be able to find out information that's truthful and correct than just having it as a source of knowledge in your brain.
Yeah.
Because there's almost too much to know. Mm-hmm. So phone etiquette.
Yes.
As in, when is it good or the correct time to use it, or when's it not a correct time to use it?
Yeah. For example, and this is super common, if we went... a time where I noticed this is before we came back to Liverpool yesterday, we stopped in a pub to visit some people in Solihull that we knew, and it was a pub quiz.
Right.
So during the pub quiz, the quiz master at the beginning, he basically said, can everyone put their phones down? Even if you're not cheating, we won't know that you're cheating, basically, if you're going on your phone. So nobody use your phone for 10 minutes between what questions are on. And then we went on to just have random conversation. And about 5 times in the space of 2 minutes, one of us realized that we went to our phone with something relevant to the conversation, whether it was a date that we were talking about, wanting to show a photo to someone. Literally in 2 minutes, we went to use our phones and realized, we can't.
Yeah.
And that was because we were like trying to monitor it. Yeah. I was just thinking, I wonder how often that happens through the day that you just go to your phone.
But I think, yes, that happens a lot, but I'm not necessarily sure it's a bad thing. So I think sometimes it gives you useful information. And if you have got a picture of something you want to show to someone, rather than being like, oh, come back to mine and I've got a Polaroid of it and I'll show you next in 2 weeks when you come over to mine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you have that convenience there. And does knowing having the information to get on the tip of your fingers, is that a bad thing? Like, I remember before the internet, I feel like we as our age group have a good before and after it. I know we kind of grew up with the internet, basically. As I was becoming of an age where I probably would use the internet, that's when the internet was becoming a thing.
Yeah.
So I do remember what it was like, kind of like before the internet was big.
Yeah.
And like, if you didn't know something, you had to hope that you knew somebody that know it.
Yeah, I feel it's kind of killed like a barroom debate type thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just very easily answered with, you're wrong. Oh, no, you're wrong. And discussing about it, you Google it and that's the end of it.
Yeah, because it's no more like, no, the speed of an unladen African swallow is 46 miles an hour. You're like, no. It's 48 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it's just fixed with one Google, isn't it? Is that a bad thing?
I suppose the time where I think it might be a bit of a bad thing, and I'm a little bit of a culprit for this, or maybe I used to be more than I am now, but say you go to a party where you only have one mutual friend. Mm-hmm. I know that if I'm slightly uncomfortable and not knowing a lot of people there, I may go to my phone as a bit of a crutch rather than rush to make new connections.
I think
at least initially
is the wrong word there.
Okay.
I think it's kind of you kind of put yourself in a bubble away from everyone else.
Yeah.
So you're not using it to help you meet new people. Mm-hmm. You're using it to stop meeting new people and having an excuse of why you're not.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to them because I'm looking at Instagram. Mm-hmm. But I think people might have done that in the past. They just wouldn't have been on the phone. They just would have been stood in the corner and
true,
feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it hasn't really changed
but
too
maybe
much.
it's made it easier to do that kind of thing. I think it's more noticeable now in a social situation. If I notice if you have a party or something like that and someone's on their phone, it's obvious that they've not been involved in the party as much as they could have been.
Yeah.
Even if, and it's like when they come off their phone, they're like a different person.
Yeah.
You can't have a conversation with someone who's trying to be on their phone. I bet people can argue that. I bet people might say,
yeah, for sure.
Oh, I can. But I think you are a different person when you're on your phone than when you're not.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like if we did this podcast trying to do stuff on our phone at the same time, I think it'd be significantly
You're not
worse.
fully there.
You're not.
You find yourself thinking you're in a conversation, like half listening, half checking scores of something on your phone, and then you suddenly realize, oh, what did they just say?
Yeah.
And then you have to smile and nod for a bit. You're not fully there. You're not.
No, for sure, because I'll be on Reddit and then Annie will say something to me and I won't have heard it because I'm so focused on what I'm reading, and then she'll get annoyed, like, "Are you not listening?" I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, but I was on Reddit, so I didn't really hear what you said. Can you repeat that?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it is bad in that kind of situation, and I think if you're in a group of friends, put your phone away.
Yeah. I like the idea when you see things. I saw a photo a little while ago. There was a bar in America, I think, where you had to put your phone behind the bar,
right,
to order a drink or something.
Yeah.
So you were just forced into talking to people.
I've seen stuff like that where it's everybody puts their phone in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
First one to picks it up gets the round.
Yeah.
Or pays the bill or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think is a interesting take on it.
One thing, keeping on etiquette stuff, this one's not new, but I feel like it's become heightened because of this. Wireless headphones, like AirPods, they're so small that they're not even noticeable a lot of the time.
Right.
People walking around with them in and people trying to talk to you with them in and not realizing they're there. Because I've had that happen where I've been on the phone and I'm always conscious of it because there's no like signs necessarily, and then I'm worried about looking like a crazy person.
Do you ever just hold your hand up to your
That's what
to your ear
sometimes I
and
do. I'm like, I need to make it obvious so like people don't think I'm crazy and talking to myself.
Just put your hand in the classic phone sign, thumb in ear, and pretend.
And then I might as well just be on the phone.
Yeah.
But is there a time and place to have headphones on? If you walk into a shop, do you think it's rude to go about the shop and buy your stuff from someone at the counter with headphones in?
So do you want to know what my limit is?
Yeah.
As someone who works at a shop.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say you go around the store and shop with your headphones on, do what you want.
Yeah.
But if you're coming to me and want to be served by me, take your headphones out so you can hear what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, do you want anything else? Is that everything? And you go, I don't want a bag, please.
Yeah.
That's not a conversation. I wasn't asking you whether you needed a bag. Or I'll say, that's £6.20, and they go, I don't need a bag. Or do you want a bag? And like, how much is it? Like, no one's. It's frustrating. It's the same when people are on the phone.
Yeah.
Just can you not wait? If you don't want to be served by someone, go to the self-serve.
Yeah.
Keep your headphones on. I don't care then.
Yeah.
But like, don't have this social interaction where you're treating me like dirt.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
By not giving me the time of day to even listen to me.
That's kind of what I was getting at, because you see it. I imagine you see it literally every day.
Yeah.
Not even just the headphones, but like you said, people on the phone going up, and you are interacting with another human in that situation. And I feel like there should be a level of respect there, just to hold, simple questions. And technology stops that sometimes.
Yeah. I do like people that are on the phone that go, I'm just at the checkout, I'll be a second.
Yeah, and they'll just put it down and
I'll just smack
and
a
just
mic.
punch the mic.
Jesus Christ. Hands away.
Spatial awareness.
Yeah, so phone's bad-ish.
Phone's bad-ish. I mean, then, like you said, they're so ingrained in day-to-day life now. I think you would struggle to get by without a phone now. Even like holding down a job or something, you've got to be contactable by an employer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think if you had a phone but on a smartphone.
Yeah.
But I think a smartphone is kind of almost needed. No, I don't know. I'll take that back.
Yeah.
But I think there are expectations within jobs nowadays where they want you to be contactable 24/7, which I think is unreasonable.
Yeah.
And that's an issue of technology as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that thing of I can't remember the exact specifics of it, but before mobile phones, if you were meeting someone somewhere, you'd have to give a time and location and actually be there.
Yeah.
Whereas now we all have mobiles. If you're late, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe there's an element of someone being like, I can be a bit late. I can find them, or they can find me, or...
No, for sure, people were always just late as well.
Yeah.
People are just late. It's just that you wouldn't know someone was running late, or they just weren't coming, so you'd be stood there for ages. Yeah.
Whereas now you can check and leave.
Probably, yeah. I imagine, as in no one... Like, if you organised a date and they didn't turn up, I imagine nowadays they would just send a message saying, I can't make it.
Yeah.
Which is that better or worse than turning up and nobody coming to the date? Because I know that can still happen nowadays.
Yeah.
Because then they could just not turn up at all. Well, if they don't turn up, you can just be on your phone. It doesn't matter.
That's true. Or even if they do turn up, you can just be on your phone.
Yes. That is very rude. Technology for dating.
For dating.
We hadn't mentioned this, but I thought we could talk about that.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, it's going to be me, isn't it?
It's going to be you, because I've been in a relationship for many a year now.
Was it 20 years now?
Yeah, coming up to 22 years. It's almost a decade. It's almost 10 years.
That's crazy, that. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think, is that a good way for relationships to form? It's going to have to be an opinion, isn't it? What's your opinion, Ben?
I don't necessarily... What's the difference of a foundation of relationship if you meet through mutual interests online than just bumping into each other on the street or in a bar or something? There's no difference really at the core of it. It's not... I don't think you get a different type of person doing one or the other. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
Do you think you will find a more well-rounded person in person or online?
I think the difference now is if we were talking about 10 years ago, online dating would be different to now. Okay. I think you would be hard-pressed to find a single person aged between 18 and 25 who wouldn't be on Tinder or some sort of... I don't think it's the type of person who is maybe the stereotypical lonely, looking for someone who goes to online dating because they can't find someone in real life. I think that's just...
It is something fun
the
to
way
do.
it is now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a good way to meet new people, I guess. It's more of like a shotgun method, whereas like you couldn't meet that many people in real life as quickly as you could via Tinder.
Because there's now equivalents, so Tinder's for dating. There's also Tinder for groups of people wanting to go on nights out just as groups of friends. There's Tinder for finding friends. If you feel like you've not got that many friends, you want to meet new people, not in a romantic way. There's just like so much.
Yeah.
There's technology for everything now. Like,
technology really definitely brings people together.
Yeah. The world is a lot smaller now.
Yeah. I do think people are ashamed of saying they met on Tinder, though.
I think that's a stigma that's getting less, though.
Yeah, for sure. But I remember when it first came out, people would say they didn't meet on Tinder. They would meet a different way.
Yeah.
Then
we'll make a backstory. We met at the pub on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, me and Annie met on a night out, which is not like the most romantic way, but you can romanticize if I wanted to, I saw Annie across the room.
Yeah.
She was so beautiful. I decided that kind of bullshit. But you can't really romanticize Tinder, can you?
I saw her profile picture pop up and I didn't just swipe right, I super liked her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grandpa, did you super like Grandma? I did, Jimmy. I did. Did you pay for Tinder? Yes, I did also do that. Yeah.
Oh god, it's so weird when you start breaking things down like that, isn't it? But it shouldn't matter.
No,
really.
Tinder was. I only went over. So when I was single, I was in between girlfriends. Is that right? That's the right saying. It's like in between jobs, isn't it? I'm not unemployed.
Yeah.
In between jobs. I went on a few Tinder dates. None of them were that great.
No.
All right. A lot of people just like to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
But I think that's just people in general, isn't it?
I think people do just to like to talk about themselves.
Yeah. Like us on a
podcast.
Us on a podcast.
We're just documenting it over months.
True that.
Let's talk about this though. Without technology, we wouldn't be doing this.
Yes. My life, I don't know who I would be if my life was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do.
Do you think you would be a fundamentally different person?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, because one of my major hobbies is playing video games, and like I grew up on video games, so I think that affected me in a way that I wouldn't have been affected in a different way. Do you know what I mean?
When you say affected, do you think you're a more rounded person, a better person from it, or do you think it's a negative thing?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but because I don't know what the other way would be.
Yeah,
there's no way that it can't have affected me.
Yeah, for sure.
But would I be a better person without video games? That's up in the air.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm already a pretty good person. But
best person.
Maybe I would be the best ever
Yeah.
if I didn't have video games. Maybe I would have put, what would I have put all that time that I spent on video games into? Could I have made myself much more productive? Could I be a musician? Could I be an artist? Could I do something that feels more productive than just video games, which is pure entertainment-ish? You could use other things, and it has cross-compatible skills.
Yeah.
Maybe, I know, did video games make me smarter than I would have been because of problem-solving and quick thinking and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Possibly. Would I have been smarter without video games because I wouldn't have wasted so much time learning stuff about video games?
Or would you just be a lot more bored?
Yes. Do you know what I mean? People used to get a wooden hoop and just smack it down the street with a stick, didn't they, for games? Mm-hmm. Would I have spent more time outside with my friends? Yeah. Possibly. Would I have been joined a gang? Probably not.
Probably not.
But, do you know what I mean?
The gangs of Berry.
Whoa. We have thugs, you know. Real northern thugs. I don't know. Yeah, I do think even though I had video games, I still went out and played with friends and stuff like that.
I'm trying to think when technology took over my life from childhood. Because through most of even like secondary school, I didn't really spend that much time on games. It was playing out with friends and being outside. I think the biggest thing was learning guitar. Yeah. Until I went to college, it was self-taught from just watching videos and listening to stuff online.
That's technology.
That's what I mean. But then would I have still learned from CDs or records or however far back we're going to go?
Yeah, a teacher.
Or it's definitely made it more accessible. There was just a ton of stuff online that you could access to, you know what I mean?
I think I might have video gamed less if I lived nearer my friends.
Yeah.
So I went to kind of school in a town over.
Yeah.
So that I was much further away from where my friends were.
Yeah. So you couldn't just pop next door or down the road to see them.
There was a couple of friends like that, but not in the same way that if my whole friendship group lived next door.
Yeah. What could have been?
Yeah, it's easy to say. No, it's not easy to say what could have been.
No.
But it's interesting to imagine.
Yeah, for sure. But I think at this point now, we will never back out of technology in the world. I don't think there is any stopping it now from how it's ingrained into our lives.
Unless there's some sort of absolute catastrophe.
Unless there is an apocalyptic event that like wipes out
AI.
Yeah.
Your toaster wants to kill you.
Yeah. I feel like we had something else to talk about, but we've been talking a while now.
We have. We're thinking about talking about what a technology is going to be in the future.
Yeah.
But I feel like that could be an episode in itself. We spoke about the future in the past,
We kind of did the future.
Yeah.
I think we've already spoken about that. It is that thing that we were saying, the exponential growth, though, from comparing 500 years of technology and then the last 50 years of technology.
For sure.
It just dwarfs any advancements, really.
Yeah. Well, here's a question for you, Ben.
Go on.
What is the greatest technological invention of the 20 and 21st century?
I feel like we've done this before, and I kind of think if we did answer this, the internet.
Yeah. I think it's the internet as well.
Because it has brought the biggest library in the world to everyone. Mm-hmm. All information ever is available to everyone who has the means to access it, I suppose. But
what do you think there'll be another internet with like air marks in our time that's something that's so world changing?
AI. I think it will be AI.
Right.
I think that the next short-term one might be virtual reality. Mm-hmm. I think when that becomes good enough that it becomes hard to distinguish between the two, or not distinguish, but when it becomes functional and cheap enough, that will have a big impact. But then I think AI will be the big one.
Yeah. I think there'll be something else and we can't even think about it. It's like something we don't even know that we don't know.
If you asked that question to someone in 1900, I doubt that they could accurately guess.
Yeah, because you have to think about all the stuff that leads up to computers, all the stuff, so all the electronics, electricity, and then you have to think of microchips, and you have to think of TVs and screens and everything that builds up to being in a connected world. Yeah. I think there's lots of stepping stones that we won't even realize until we're there.
It'd be something that we won't even know.
Crazy.
Yeah. Technology has improved. On the whole, I think it has improved lives.
Yes. But then there's everything that is good also has issues.
Yeah. But there are more too much of anything good than cons.
Yeah.
I'd hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much for listening. We've been Two Sheep in a Pool. You can find us in all the usual places. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're not going to reply on any of those because we're... but if you want to get in contact with us properly, you can email us at bar@twosheepinapool.com, bar like a sheep. And I've been James.
I've been Ben.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next week.
Bye. Okay.
And also, join in on our technology ban challenge.
Yes.
And let us know your results.
Yeah, email in to tell us what you did before and if you're going to do it, what you did after.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I'm regretting doing this now. Already. I'm not even started. Right. See you next week.
Bye.